Okay. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm back inside. I had this great idea. If you didn't see me 10 minutes ago, I had this great idea to do this live out in my backyard because it's a beautiful day and it's not too hot and it's not too humid and it's still pretty light out. So I go out in the backyard. And my second great idea was that I would do it with my bare feet on the earth. So I would get that polarity from the earth. And what happened is my feet and ankles are bit up from mosquitoes. So that was distracting me. And then this man and little boy started walking up came up my driveway because I was in the back of the house. So they came all the way to the back of the house. And I think the little boy lives in the back and somehow shot a toy over. So they were asking me if they could enter the backyard. This was while I was doing the live, if you weren't on 10 minutes ago. So he's talking to me, and the additional interesting part of that was he is obviously deaf. I don't know them. I never met them before. So that all of a sudden they were in my backyard, and he's deaf, so he doesn't realize that I'm doing a live. I'm out there by myself, so he's like talking to me with his hands and making sounds, and I'm trying to do the live. And then the third thing was the fire siren started. So my really great idea to do a live with you all in the backyard backfired a little bit. So I'm back inside and I wanted to really just go over that again, and I'm just going to delete the other one when I get a chance because it wasn't very helpful. So this is what I was talking about. If you weren't on before, or if you were on, but it was super distracting, I'm sorry about that. But this is what I was talking about. I wanted to share with you how your emotions affect your immune system because a lot of people are still really concerned about their immune system, rightly so. And people are very interested in doing whatever they can to keep themselves healthy and to keep their immune system functioning well. And so that might mean diet, might mean sleep, it might mean exercise. And so I want to talk to you about emotions and how they affect your immune system. Okay. So you can maybe add this into your toolbox if you choose. So there's two things that I would like to talk about with you and the emotions. The first one you may have heard before, maybe not. And the second one may be a little bit more unfamiliar information. So if you have any questions, if you are hopping on and you see this or the replay later, please post a question and I'll answer it. This is streaming in multiple places, so I may not see your question in the moment, but I'm certainly interested in answering it. Okay. So the first thing about the immune system, so we have all these systems of our body and they all have their jobs, and the immune system's job is to keep you safe from internal invaders, bacteria, viruses, molds, parasites, anything that enters the body that shouldn't be there, cancer cells. So the immune system's job is to sort of be on alert, find them, and take care of them as best as it can. When we're in fight or flight, when we're under stress, the body says, okay, I'm in danger. There's something I need to take care of, something I need to handle. I need to run, I need to fight, whatever it is. I need all my resources to go do that. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to dial down the immune system, or actually even like shut it off for the moment. By the way, it also does the same thing with the digestive system, and even the endocrine system is getting all wonked out because all these hormones are being produced in response to your stress and your fight or flight. We're talking about the immune system today. So the body says, I need all my resources. There's clearly something that's threatening me. I'm in danger. Let me go handle that. And it shuts down the immune system. And that would be okay. I got really bit up with mosquitoes. That would be okay if it happened for 10 minutes or a half hour, and then you went back into normal living, which is really how the system is designed, how our bodies are designed. We're designed to handle a threat, really a life-threatening threat, which we don't have that much of in today's world. We're not really under the threat of losing our life most days, right? We are dealing with financial issues, conflicts at work, stuff in the house, overbooked schedules. Those are the things that are giving us stress and giving us that same response, but it's not threatening our life. And those things happen over and over and over. The traffic jam on the way to work, which makes you late, and the kids forgot to bring their bag, and now you got to go back, and whatever, whatever. The list goes on, and it keeps you in that state all day long. So your stress response, your ramped up readiness to fight or flight or run from somebody is there. And in order to do that, your body turns down your immune system. You don't know it's happening. You have no control over it. Same thing with digestion. You have no control over that, but all of a sudden you have digestive issues. You don't digest your food well, lots of food sensitivities, things like that. And so over time, you're going to have an immune system that doesn't function the way it should. So when those bacteria and viruses and other things show up, you're not going to have the resources to do the job that it needs to do. That's the first thing. And I think maybe a lot of people are aware of that. The second one that I wanted, though, to point out, you may not be so aware of, and that is your thymus gland, which sits right here under your breastbone, okay, in the area of your heart. The thymus gland is right there. And the thymus gland, if you've never heard of it or weren't really sure what it does, when we're kids, when a child is growing, it has several functions to help the child grow and to do some other things along those lines when a child is young. And then after puberty, that part of the gland sort of shuts down. It's not needed for those things anymore. And in fact, the gland even shrinks a little bit. But the other part of the gland, what it does is actually the master general of the immune system. It has a very important part in the immune system. It kind of like directs parts of the system to get into action and what needs to be done. And it also, in the thymus gland, is responsible for the production of immunoglobulins. Immunoglobulins are very particular proteins to help your body fight what it needs to fight. So it might, maybe you've heard of T cells. Okay, my daughter, when she was alive, had cancer, and after her chemotherapy, she then got T cell therapy, and that was called immunotherapy because they were helping her immune system by giving her these fighter T cells to help her immune system. So if you know anybody who's had significant issues, you may have heard of T cells. So those are produced in the thymus. And the T cell's job is to go out and find the viruses, the bacteria, the mold, and actually shut it down, like make sure they don't even enter the other cells of the body, stop replication, stop them from landing on receptor sites of the cells. So that's a very important job, and that happens in the thymus. Now, how is that related to emotions, you might ask? And so when you are living in emotions like fear on a regular basis, anxiety, anger, resentment, the energy of your body is pulled down into the lower body. And the energy that needs to go into your heart, we are biological beings. That's why I wanted my feet on the earth when I was out there getting bit by mosquitoes. But I wanted my feet on the earth because the earth gives us a polarity and an energy. And the sun also gives us energy. If we didn't have the sun, we would die, right? We get an energy from the sun. And that life force energy goes through our body. It won't go into the area of your heart if you're upset, if you're angry, if you're fearful. The energy of the heart is generated from the emotions of love, joy, gratitude, things like that. So if I'm stuck in a traffic jam and I'm pissed off at the guy who just cut me off and I'm thinking about the deadline and who's going to pick up the kids, now I'm going to be late, and There's an argument we had at breakfast that we haven't finished and I'm still mad about that. All of those things, I'm not experiencing gratitude. I'm not experiencing joy. I'm not experiencing love. And so the energy that goes into this area is being blocked. And the thymus, who's got such an important job for your immune system, is not being activated. It's not being triggered on in the way that it could or should be. It's just not happening. So when you can shift your body, and some of the work that I do with my clients is to actually do breathing. A lot of people are really aware of breath work these days, but we do it, and we do it with our hands here. Because when you put your hands there over your heart, if you can't see, but when you put your hands over your heart, you connect your brain to that area of your body. Just like if I touch my elbow, I wasn't noticing my elbow 30 seconds ago, but I notice it now because I touched it, right? So when I touch this area of my heart, my brain keys in, oh, that's where we're focusing. Okay. And then the energy in my hands also helps to put some energy there. And then my emotions, thinking about what I love, thinking about what I'm grateful for, trying to release the thoughts and the feelings that had me upset, that will actually pull the energy up into that part of your body. And so doing that on a regular basis can be a really great tool and an important tool for helping your immune system to stay upregulated, to stay on task, to have the energy it needs to do its job. And also, you'll come out of that shutting your energy down because you're preparing for a fight. So those were the two things I wanted to share with you. If you watched, there's now two lives, although I'm going to go back and delete the first one, but I had this great idea to go out and do it in my backyard where it's beautiful out and I could be in the earth. And what happened was I got bit by mosquitoes. The fire siren went off, and some strange man and his son, whom I've never seen before, walked all the way up into my backyard and started to talk to me while I was trying to do the live. So I gave up and came inside. So if you joined me again, thank you. If you didn't see the first one, that's what happened. But I gave you all the information again from what I started with before and finished it up now. Okay, so if you have any questions, great. I'll be back on Thursday talking about something else. But if you have any questions or there's something that you want to talk about, please let me know that. I want to do lives on things that are important to you, to your life, to overcoming obstacles, to releasing stress, to getting out of suffering. Whatever it is that's important to you, that's what I want to do a live on. So you got to let me know. All right. Okay. Thanks for hanging with me through the challenges of the first live, and I'll see you Thursday. Bye.